What's up guys, welcome back to another live qualifying. This is round 6 of the European Masters at Paletta Raceway. Very excited for this one because it's literally one of my favourite tracks in the game. Quite an empty server today, which is unusual. There is free qualifying servers, so it's not like there's a lack of sign-ups. I've done about half hour's worth of practicing before this. I had a couple laps just randomly not counting, so I'm not sure where the funny part of the track is. But hopefully that doesn't equate to many cuts during the race. This is really just to give you an idea of what my lines are. Luckily there's no collisions there. Yeah, I'll walk you through why I'm going to certain parts of the track. And I just want to try and get a base lap time down before anything really. Just set in stone, just like as a banker lap, and then once you've got the first one in you can work on going a bit faster. I used to make the mistake of just trying to go as fast as possible over and over and keep restarting and getting the last couple minutes of the session and you haven't even got a single lap time in. It just causes more stress than is needed. So let me just get this first one in and then I'll walk you through properly the lines that I'm taking. I think the right hand side of that takeoff there could be one place where the cuts might be coming in. It's very easy to drift out wide. Or this step out's going to be hard to hit now, I've overjumped that bit. Or barely. Yeah, you got to make sure you downside that little hump on the single perfectly to get over that on a 250. And the fastest lap time I saw anybody else do in practice before this was a 49. And I'm very confident in being able to beat 49s all day long around here. So it's one of my favourite tracks. I run quite a few laps before this race existed. Hopefully not making mistakes like that. And I'm very happy and confident with this race, so hopefully can do the same as the last round and go 1-1 for the win overall. And let's see, I think if you drift too far out wide on the exit of this corner it gives you cuts as well, so I'm really making sure to check up there. And there you go, yeah, that lap counted. Okay, so I go middle right here, just because you haven't got to slow down much, you can make it flow all the way through. Skimming through these or doubling, they both tend to work out about the same. I don't go all the way outside here because I feel like you have to slow up more. If you just kind of apex the outside part of it, you haven't got to slow down much at all. This is probably the hardest jump on the track to get. You've got to downside the jump before it perfectly. That was absolutely fine there. It's very easy in this long sweeper to wash out the front, so just try and be a bit more reserved, don't try and go too fast. This inside is very easy to wash out on the exit, so you got to stand the bike up a little bit more than you'd expect on the way out of there. That jump is very easy to overjump, so just got to be careful there. Around the outside, so I can stay nice and low over this like triple little thing. Scrub that, there you go. There's a little roller on the downside ladder that you got to downside perfectly, and I've done it fine just then. I don't think inside or outside matters around here. I think they both work out the same by the time you get off the drop off. Just kind of scrub things as low as possible. Here's another corner where your front end can easily wash out, so you kind of got to take your time around there. Stay as low as you can over this. I prefer the outside here just because it gives you a better slingshot for the next straight. I just find it much faster than checking up for the inside. I'm still undecided on inside or outside here though. I'm sure I'll probably try both of them throughout the race, especially as the erode kicks in and the track gets rougher. I take the inside to outside there just because you miss the rollers. There's a roller on the entrance on the outside and a roller on the exit on the inside. I think if you just miss both of them it ends up being a lot quicker overall. And this is a very fast lap actually. There you go, it was at 46.36. Loving that. Let's go back just to top up the fuel and redo the tyres. Right, so one thing that I can't remember who told me, but this was going back a few months. Default pressure in the tyres is 12.3, and I just got told to decrease by 1. Apparently that stops the front wheel tucking as much. A few other things I've got in here is I always have my swing arm length on 2. It keeps the bike a bit more stable, and a lot of people like going aggressive on the mapping. I prefer mellow myself. That is purely on the basis of I'm quite confident I can carry speed, so I don't need as much instant acceleration as others might, and it just helps the back end not slide out as much when you do get on the gas out of the corners. I this is kind of the gearing that I always run on my 250 is 1350. That's always just a personal preference thing. Some people like longer gearing, some like shorter. And suspension, I have no clue what I'm doing with suspension. I usually just press buttons until it feels right. And at the moment, you can see I'm on a Supercross suspension, what I was working on for Supercross. But it works just as good on a national track. I don't think the suspension is that important in this game. I'm pretty sure you can just use a stock setup and go as fast as someone who's spent hours and hours on it. Comfortable lead in this session. I know some of the other faster guys are in the other sessions. We've got Logan in here and Jones in here are both fast, so they'll drop their lap times by a bit before this session is over. I suppose the next thing to do now then, now I'm happy with that lap, is go for another good one, but maybe change the lines up a little bit and see if there's anything faster than what I'm currently doing. I know one or two spaces on the track where I could take a different line just to test. I'm not going to change anything, I don't think at all, in the first half of the track. So I really like this middle here. I do think the skimming these is quicker than fully doubling them, just because you stay closer to the ground. I'm going to attempt the inside here. It looks like a waste of time over that roller. Scrub this as hard as you can and just lean back, power as hard as you can, stretch it out, dab the back brake to drop the front end, no problem. Be a little bit more timid through here so you don't lose the front, and that rut there's easy to slide out on as well. I don't see myself taking any rut other than the inside here throughout the race, and there you go, that's a prime example of what I said last lap. It's very easy to tuck the front end as you exit that corner. That's because you're leant over so much and it suddenly goes back to flat. Middle or outside here, absolutely fine. Make sure you don't over jump this jump, it's very easy. So the inside here I think is actually viable as well, because it is a very big rut. That felt really nice actually, so that could end up being faster than the outside if you hit it like that. I'm not going to get over this now because I've absolutely whisked the fuck out of it, but I'm going to show you this little single that I'm on about downsiding. So you can either roll the whole thing, or right in front of me here is that little single. If you can downside this, it's fairly straightforward to get the run and seat bounce and get over that jump. He just did perfect there, that was Logan, he should get over that no problem. Which he does, yeah. So it's when you over jump it, coming up short's a little bit fine, it's when you over jump it that it ends up being a little bit sketchy. You probably just have to scrub it and double and single like I did there. So the inside here is viable as well, just got to watch your front end on the rollers. I don't think it ends up being faster or slower, they're pretty much the same. This will be an interesting corner once it gets rough. I think you're going to have to slow up quite a lot not to lose the front end. I will show the inside here, but I don't think it's worth it, just with how much you have to slow up. Maybe it's a bit holding the left here because there's no bumps, and I think this inside here could be viable at some point. I just want to stay off of that mound on the inside. And here this is where I think I'm doing different to everyone else, is there's an outside or there's an inside, but there's a hump on both. And I just think they slow you down too much. Let's see what this guy does here as he goes through it. So he hugs the inside the whole way. So does he. What's this guy do? Oh no, so he's got the right idea. I think inside drifting out to the outside there is the way to go. So you kind of start here, and luckily the track smooths out here, so you can just cut across to the outside and get a much better drive for this straight than if you was to hit both of those rollers. You can OJ this as much as you want, just land front wheel higher. Got to brake harder for this corner than you think, because it really tightens up by the end of it. Let's try and go for another burner, see if I can improve that lap at all. Oh, we're already a bit wild. Get over this. Oh no, I tried dabbing the back brake to get over the third one, can't do that. Also, yeah, Logan's dropped his lap time by a lot there, that's good. So, just the standard, go back to the pits, refresh their tyres. Not that I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but it's just for a mental thing. Make sure you've just got a litre of fuel in there, and we go again. So, let's try and not dick it in the first sector again. As I do exactly that. The reason I go back to the pits and back out to the track instead of just turning around and going to the finish line again is sometimes if you restart a lap before you've completed the first sector of the previous lap, the timing doesn't reset, it kind of carries on. So if you used to set the hot lap of your life, it would add on the previous lap's time to it. So let's say it was a 2-minute lap time, for example, and it took you 20 seconds to kind kind of fuck up the first lap, get back to the start and do it again, you'd get a 2-minute 20-second lap time, which I don't understand why it does it, but for the sake of it not happening, I'd much rather go back to the pits every single time, just to make sure that if I do then get a good lap, it counts and I'm not frustrated afterwards. Let me try the outside round here, because I keep trying the inside and that's what makes your front end a bit loose. Oh, I don't know, there was a little bit of a bank there. So this bank here, I don't know if you could ride off of that. Let me see what everyone else is doing quickly. So he uses the outside, Jones uses the outside. It does look good. I might quickly give it a go before starting another lap. If that is the case, that'll be much more consistent than trying to hug the inside and it not working out properly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go over this triple from here, I doubt it. There's no way I'm going to double it. Right. So, I suppose if you start on this rut, go to the outside. Well, that's alright, and you can jump back across to the middle. That could work out well. I'm just going to try this middle here as well, in case people die in the other ruts. Always seems to be the way. Who's this behind me? Oh, that's Jenkins. Try this inside again, as it worked out well last time. It's a very small very small margin for error there. Right, and this is where you've got to check up a bit. See, I cased the roller a little bit there, but that should be fine. It's much better than over jumping it. Yeah, still go over that, no problem. I like jumping to the outside, it just feels better. It feels like you've got more of a flow going. Stand up over them bumps, brake, sit down once you get into the corner. Try not to go over the bars on the next jump. Try the inside here again. I think that, I don't know, that's going to be a very close call on what's fast there. If you can carry your speed and apex that from outside to inside, back to outside again, it'll be fast. I am going to just do the next lap because I've only got 0.6 litres of fuel, so if I'm going to do a heater, now is the time to do it. Hoping that this lap time still counts after going off the track there. Lost a little bit in the last half of this lap, but still an improvement if it does count. I'll just cross my fingers and hope. That's a nice last corner. Oh, there you go, there you go. Sorry for going quiet for a second. On me try hard face for a bit. I'm pretty sure that's my best ever lap around here. I haven't taken much notice of the lap times when messing around before this, but I couldn't see too many places to improve. I messed up going off the track ever so slightly. There was 1 or 2 corners in there where I got a bit sketchy going into the corner, but I'm very pleased with that. And with 5 minutes left of qualifying, I don't actually think I'll be beating it. I'll give it one more go. Yeah, that did feel like a very, very good lap. I'd probably put money on the fact that that will be the top qualifying lap as well. we shall see. It will definitely be in the video thumbnail, so you'll know before the video starts anyway. Oh, no, there you go. I keep pressing chat. All I want to do is refresh my wheels, clean my bike. Don't know how many people will still be watching this, but a lot of people seem to really enjoy the last one of these, which is why I'm doing it again. Also just to get in my head really and think of what I'm thinking whilst I'm trying to qualify, what lines I think work best. I know that it going up by the time the race is done probably doesn't help a lot of people because there's no point knowing the lines once the race is over. But I don't know, when I used to, when I first got into the game, I was always watching people that were the fast guys, try and learn their lines and just see how they ride to see what could be better. One thing that gets suggested, which I'll definitely be looking into in future videos, probably when I come back from being away over this weekend, is getting like a controller overlay. And like a lot of streamers on like Rocket League for example, have like a controller overlay so you can see what buttons they're pressing and when. I think that'll be a very good way of being able to teach people what to do. Am I going to get over this after overjumping it slightly? Yeah. Oh god. Ah, rest in peace. Well, I will give the next lap a go, just because of the fuel. If I crash on it, I'll just end it there because I can't see myself beating this. This was such a good lap. Didn't expect it to be quite that good. And like last week, I won't be talking during the races. I'm having trouble talking while riding. I won't be talking during the races. I just get too in the zone, kind of like how I went quiet during the hot lap. I just don't talk much at all, so there's not much point. And for sake of time in uploading the videos, I don't have to do anything with them. I can just upload them straight away. I haven't got to render them down or anything like that. So here we go, last attempt. We'll see how it goes. Oh, we're in a bit wide. It's fine. Went 2 off at the moment, so you can get that back. No, there we go, that's over. Okay, so I am going to call it there. There's only 2 minutes left, so there's not much point going for another lap anyway. Whoever has made it this far, fair play to you, because I need all the view time I can get at the moment to get the channel to a point of being monetized. So thank you very much. I will do one of these now for every one of these races, because I actually quite enjoy them, and I find it fairly easy to talk over these. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and as usual, leave me some feedback. I'm always open to criticism or what I can be doing better. And until next time, peace.